What you've learned about the name of God might be completely wrong. The Creator revealed a sacred name, a name that appears more than 6,800 times in the Bible, but it has been hidden, replaced, and even forbidden. If this name holds power and mystery, why does almost no one speak about it? What you are about to discover could change everything you know about God, faith, and even the apocalypse. This name is sealed in the chosen ones of the end times, and may be directly linked to a hidden power within you. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to reveal will surprise you. When Moses ascended Mount Horeb, he not only received a divine mission, but also heard something that would forever change the relationship between God and his people. The account in Exodus 3:13-14 takes us to this decisive moment when Moses, fearful and uncertain, asks God, "Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you. And they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?" The divine answer was enigmatic, profound, and full of meaning. Erasure, I am that I am. This answer was not merely a name, but a revelation of the essence of the Creator. In biblical Hebrew, Ehyeh is a form of the verb to be in the future tense, and it can be translated as I will be what I will be. This phrase contains one of the greatest theological mysteries. God does not define himself by a static name, but by a living, continuous, and unchanging existence. He is the beginning, the middle, and the end, the one who transcends time and creation. The most surprising part is that right after this declaration, God continues and reveals something even more impactful. In verse 15, he declares, "Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Yahweh, God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations." Here is the crucial point. God not only revealed a title, but a personal and eternal name, Yahweh, which was to be remembered forever. The impact of this revelation was overwhelming. From this moment on, the name Yahweh became associated with the covenant between God and Israel, the power of deliverance, and the promise of redemption. Moses not only received a name, but a calling to announce to the world that the true God is not an abstract concept, but a living, personal, and eternal being. However, what happened to this name throughout history? Why did it disappear from popular tradition and get replaced by generic titles? And is there something hidden in this name that most people have never noticed? The hidden code in the name Yahweh. The name of God, Yahweh, is more than just a simple set of letters. It carries a profound mystery that may be intertwined with the very creation of the universe. Many scholars and theologians have wondered, could it be that the divine name is encoded in the fundamental structure of existence? Looking to science, we find something surprising. The structure of human DNA, the biological matrix that defines every living being, is composed of four fundamental bases: adenine, A, thymine, T, guanin, G, and cytosine, C. What stands out is that when we analyze the sequence of the genetic code in numerical and linguistic terms, some interpretations point to a correspondence between the letters of DNA and the structure of the sacred tetragrammaton, YHWH, Yahweh. Some scientists and Torah scholars suggest that if the Creator left his signature in creation, human DNA would be one of the most powerful places to find it. But the mystery doesn't end there. The name Yahweh and the breath of life. The name Yahweh is directly connected to breathing. In biblical Hebrew, the tetragrammaton is made up of letters that represent sounds of breathing. Yod, Y, He, H, VAV W, He, H. This means that from the first breath at birth to the last at death, every human being is unconsciously pronouncing the name of the Creator. The very act of living is intertwined with the divine name. This directly connects to Genesis 2:7, where God forms man from the dust of the ground and breathes into his nostrils the breath of life. In this way, God's name is not just a theological concept, but a living reality present in the very essence of existence. If this is true, then the name Yahweh is not just a religious symbol, but a cosmic code, a divine signature imprinted in creation. But why has this knowledge been ignored? Could this be the reason why many have tried to hide the true name of the Creator? The forbidden name, why was Yahweh erased? The name Yahweh was revealed to be an eternal memorial, Exodus 3:15. So why at some point in history was the pronunciation of this name forbidden? Many believe it was merely a matter of respect, but the reality is more complex and mysterious than it seems. There was a decisive moment when the name of the Creator stopped being publicly proclaimed, and this did not happen by chance. During the time of the First Temple, the priests of Israel pronounced the name Yahweh in blessings and prayers. However, after the destruction of Solomon's temple and later the Second Temple in 70 AD, something drastically changed. Religious leaders began to consider the pronunciation of the divine name as something dangerous. The name began to be replaced by titles like Adonai, Lord, and Elohim, God, and its use became restricted to the high priest only on the Day of Atonement within the Holy of Holies. But why this change? Some believe that the destruction of the temple was interpreted as a sign of divine judgment, and the fear that the name might be misused led to its pronunciation being abandoned. Others suggest that this decision was influenced by the rise of Jewish mysticism, where it was believed that the name possessed supernatural power, capable of performing miracles and bringing judgment upon those who used it improperly. This tradition was so strong that the masores, Jewish scribes who recorded the biblical manuscripts between the 6th and 10th centuries AD, removed the original vowels from the tetragrammaton, replacing them with those of Adonai, leading to the incorrect pronunciation Jehovah. Does this mean that the correct pronunciation was lost over time? Or was it deliberately hidden? Today, very few Jews dare to pronounce Yahweh, and even within Christianity, the original name has been widely replaced by generic titles. But this raises an intriguing question. If God himself revealed his name, should we continue to avoid pronouncing it? Or is there a secret behind this mystery that needs to be rediscovered? Jehovah, the name that never existed. Many people grew up believing that the name Jehovah was the correct way to refer to the Creator. But the truth is that this pronunciation never existed in the original biblical manuscripts. The story behind this name is marked by linguistic alterations, cultural influences, and possibly a hidden purpose. If Yahweh was the name revealed by God to Moses, how did the form Jehovah come about? It all started with the Masores, Jewish scholars who between the 6th and 10th centuries AD developed a system of vowel markings to preserve the pronunciation of Hebrew words. However, since the name Yahweh was considered too sacred to be pronounced, whenever it appeared in the manuscripts, the Masoretes placed the vowels of the word Adonai, Lord, over the consonants of the tetragrammaton, YHWH. This served as a visual reminder for the readers to say Adonai instead of the divine name when they encountered YHWH. This practice resulted in a linguistic confusion. Centuries later, Christian scholars in Europe, who were unaware of this tradition, read the artificial combination of the consonants of YHWH with the vowels of Adonai, forming the word Jehovah. This incorrect form began to gain popularity, especially with Bible translations such as William Tyndale's version in the 16th century, and was widely spread in Western Christianity. But the problem is not only linguistic, it also affects the theological understanding of the divine name. While Yahweh has a deep meaning connected to God's eternity and self-existence, Jehovah is a human construction that lacks the same spiritual and symbolic weight. Worse still, over the centuries, many people came to believe that this was the original form, erasing the true name of the Creator from collective memory. This raises a crucial question. If God revealed his name to Moses and commanded it to be remembered forever, Exodus 3:15, why was it altered? Was this change intentional, meant to hide a spiritual secret? Or was it simply another human mistake that perpetuated throughout history? And more importantly, does the New Testament also conceal references to the true name, Yahweh? The hidden name in the New Testament. Many people believe that the name Yahweh only appears in the Old Testament, but there is evidence that it was also present in the earliest manuscripts of the New Testament. However, something happened over time. The name of the Creator was deliberately hidden and replaced by generic titles. What led to this erasure? Did Jesus pronounce the sacred name? The first followers of Christ, many of whom were Jewish by origin, knew and revered the name Yahweh. However, as Christianity spread to the Gentile world, copies of the New Testament underwent significant changes. Many Greek manuscripts replaced the tetragrammaton with expressions like Kyrios, Lord, and Theos, God, following the Jewish tradition that avoided pronouncing the divine name. But there is something even more intriguing. Some ancient manuscripts suggest that the earliest versions of the New Testament included the name Yahweh in its original form. One of the strongest indications is found in Matthew 27:46, when Jesus cries out on the cross, Eli Eli lama sabachthani, that is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Many scholars point out that Jesus was quoting Psalm 22:1:1, an Old Testament text where the name Yahweh appears in the original context. This raises a crucial question. Did Jesus directly invoke the name of the Creator at that moment? Another relevant fact is that the Gospels constantly show Jesus referring to the Father as He who is, an expression strongly connected to the revelation of the divine name in Exodus 3:14, I am that I am. When Jesus declares in John 8:58, before Abraham was I am, he is not merely speaking of his eternal existence, he is echoing the identity of Yahweh, provoking a violent reaction from the Pharisees, who understood the depth of his words. If God's name was present in the early manuscripts, why did it disappear from later versions of the New Testament? Was it a translation error, or a deliberate attempt to erase the connection between Jesus and Yahweh? And more importantly, if God's name was hidden throughout history, why does it reappear so strikingly in the book of Revelation? The return of Yahweh's name in Revelation. If the name Yahweh has been hidden throughout history, why does it reappear so powerfully in the book of Revelation? The final revelation of the scriptures shows us that the name of the Creator will play a central role in the events of the last days. This is not a coincidence, but a profound mystery that few have noticed. In Revelation 14:1, we see a striking scene. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. Who are these 144,000? They are described as faithful servants of God, marked with his name. This means that in the last days, the name Yahweh will be a sign of identity and divine protection. But why this specific name? The prophecy suggests that the name of the Creator will be restored and proclaimed again before the end of time. In contrast, the Antichrist will attempt to impose his own mark upon humanity, known as the mark of the beast, Revelation 13:16-17. Thus, the final spiritual battle will involve a choice between those who carry the name of God and those who accept the mark of the enemy. Another fascinating detail is found in Revelation 22:4, which speaks about the final redemption of the saved. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. This means that in the eternal state, God's chosen ones will carry the name Yahweh as a seal of belonging. But why was this name erased from history, only to be restored at the end? The answer may lie in the enemy's attempt to distort or hide the identity of the Creator. If the name of God carries power, authority, and spiritual identity, then erasing it would be a strategy to weaken humanity's understanding of who the true God of Israel is. However, as foretold in the scriptures, the name of the Most High will be exalted again in the last days, and those who recognize it will be sealed for eternity. What does this revelation mean for us today? Should we rediscover the name Yahweh and restore it in our faith? Or is there an even deeper secret about this name that is about to be revealed? The power of Yahweh's name. Throughout the scriptures, we see that the name Yahweh is not just a divine identity. It is a key to supernatural manifestations. The Bible shows us that this name was invoked at decisive moments for deliverance, miracles, and even judgment upon nations. But what is so special about this name that makes it a source of spiritual power? When Moses confronted Pharaoh, he did not go with mere human words, but with the authority of God's name. In Exodus 5:1, Moses declares, "Thus saith Yahweh, the God of Israel, let my people go." This was not just any command. It was the voice of the Creator echoing against the greatest empire of the time. From that moment, 10 supernatural plagues fell upon Egypt, demonstrating that God's name carried with it an irresistible power. But it was not only in Egypt that this name manifested in miracles. In 1 Kings 18:24, the prophet Elijah challenged the prophets of Baal and declared, "Then call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of Yahweh. And the God that answereth by fire, let him be God." The result was astounding. Fire descended from heaven and consumed Elijah's sacrifice, proving before all of Israel that the name of Yahweh was linked to supernatural power. And what about today? Can God's name still be invoked for divine manifestations? In John 14:13-14, Jesus declares, "And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it." Here we see a connection between Jesus, Yeshua, and Yahweh, as the Son manifests the power of the Father. This explains why the disciples performed miracles in the name of Jesus, as they were accessing the same divine authority that Moses and Elijah used in the past. If the name of Yahweh carries so much power, why was it removed from Christian tradition? Could this have been one of the greatest spiritual attacks against true faith? And more importantly, can those who know this name and invoke it still witness this supernatural power today? Should we speak the name Yahweh today? In light of everything that has been revealed, an inevitable question arises. Should we speak the name Yahweh today, or respect the mystery surrounding it? The scriptures give us clues about this answer, and the truth may be deeper than many imagine. Since the time of the ancient patriarchs, God's name was proclaimed and revered. Genesis 4:26 tells us that in the days of Enos, then began men to call upon the name of Yahweh. Moses received the clear command that this name would be an eternal memorial for all generations. Exodus 3:15. However, as we have seen throughout history, this name has been hidden, replaced, and even prohibited. Was this God's will or a human act? The Bible never forbids the pronunciation of the name Yahweh. On the contrary, many psalms and prophets encourage the people to praise and invoke the name of the Most High. In Psalm 105:1 it is written, "O give thanks unto Yahweh, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people." This indicates that the name of the Creator should not be hidden, but proclaimed among all nations. What happened then? Was the removal of God's name from the scriptures a way to weaken the people's connection with the Creator? Or is there a divine purpose behind this mystery? In Revelation, we see that the name of Yahweh will be restored and sealed in those who remain faithful. Revelation 14:1. This means that the rediscovery of this name is part of God's final plan for humanity. So what should our stance be? Should we fear the name of God or restore it in our prayers and studies? If Jesus Yeshua reflected the glory of the Father and taught us to sanctify his name, Matthew 6:9, shouldn't it be our duty to know and honor this name? The truth is being revealed. and the name Yahweh will again be proclaimed. But is this restoration happening now? And what does this mean for the times in which we live? If this message made you see something that was never told to you, then you cannot stop here. There are many other mysteries hidden in the Bible that still need to be revealed. Are you ready to know the truth that few dare to speak? Then stay tuned and don't miss what comes next. Let me know if you'd like any refinements,